All right, so I think let's jump into the top 10, and I'll let our guest go first. Eli, who do you got at number 10?
At number 10, I get one chance every episode to crap on LAFC. And my very first El Trafico experience happened to be the famous or infamous Andre Horta match. So I went with Andre Horta as my number 10. He was a young Portuguese rising star that they brought in from the Portuguese league. There were very high expectations for him. And, he actually had to join a pretty stacked midfield at the time with Lee Wynn, Benny Fahlhaber, and Mark Anthony Kay and Edward Atuesta, and he just never broke through. And then during this El Trafico match, he came off the bench and completely wiped away any shot of LAFC holding on to a 2-0 lead. And that is forever implemented into my mind. It was a great moment for me as a fan. And he was just such a flop for them. So I had to put Andre Horta at number 10.
Like that. I think that's a
That's
good
a great
pick.
pick. Yeah.
I will hold off judgment because spoilers.
Andrew, didn't you
Connor?
say something about I never got around to watching it, or I haven't yet, but didn't you say there was something with him in the LAFC documentary?
Oh yeah, no, Bob. If I remember correctly, Bob Bradley basically came out and was like in that documentary, was like, yeah, Andre just quite hasn't gotten up to speed, and the documentary goes behind the scenes and like it shows him just walking through training sessions and you know bad attitude, bad body language, things like that, which is why they cut him as quickly as they did. But um, yeah, he did not. It's almost like he thought he was above what they were doing there. Um, at least that's a vibe I get from it. But
Yeah, to add to that, I think he could have been what Ricky Puig is for the Galaxy. I think that's what they were hoping. He could be like that young guy that was, maybe making a weird move to come to MLS so young, but, he just really did not pan out. And I guess that's why. But yeah, that moment against the Galaxy will forever be in here.
love it, love it. Connor, who do you got at 10?
All right, so at number 10 for me, I've got Mustafa Jarju for Vancouver.
Okay.
What? What's so funny about that?
The name.
Yeah,
It's a great name.
it was a great name. I did not even think
Fantastic.
He had, from what my notes show, 449 minutes in 10 games. Just one season, I believe, in the league. No goals, no assists as an attacker. I could not find a fee, unfortunately, but he was included on, I think, two people's lists for worst DPs. So at least a few people definitely shared the sentiment as well. But I think just I can't remember exactly why he got on here, but I would assume it's mainly because of his lack of game time plus his lack of result when he was getting the limited amount of game time. But I'm sure you could tack that on to probably a bad Vancouver season in 2011. I can't remember exactly, but I just remember them being bad in the early 2010s.
Yeah, the notes I have here, it was a loan option that he got paid just about $400,000 in 2011. Make of that what you will, and didn't produce. So I tried relatively hard to stay away from players on loan because I just think it would be unfair. Like Omer Damari is another good example. He was on loan for like 2-3 months, right? So that would have been tough for me to put him on there. However, I made an exception at number 10 for a good friend of ours who I hope is listening one day because he's very good at listening to our shows.
I'm not gonna listen now. Now that you put him on the worst DP list.
Oh no, he'll heavily enjoy this one. Our good friends at FCC did not get off to a hot start. They brought in a player on loan from Brighton with
Have him on my list.
with the 28th highest designated player salary in league history. His name is Jurgen Locadia, and I've got him at 10. Things were the reason I have him at 10 is because he did join during the COVID years. So it was a weird transition at the time. But 3 goals in 17 months of play, making the same amount of money as Josef Martinez, Robert Beric, and Nani. Probably should have gotten them a better return. Yes, FCC were a mess at the time, but he probably should have done a bit better there. Total package for this guy about $1.21 million per goal, to put that in perspective. So Yeah, that's my number 10. He was a bit higher for me originally, but then I took into account when he got here, and that bumped him down a little bit. I gave him a bit of a break. But Adam, if you're listening, just know I'm always thinking of you, friend.
Very nice.
Yeah, that was good. He was an honorable mention. Then he went up to like 6, and then I'm like, we'll go 10. But